So 9th chapter is also called as the name of 9th chapter. Anybody can answer.
Confidential knowledge.
Most confidential knowledge.
Confidential knowledge in Sanskrit. Raja.
Rajavidya.
Rajavidya. Yes. So why is it called Rajavidya, the king of education? This 9th chapter. Because
it is the most confidential knowledge which Krishna has revealed, Mataji. In
that is Rajaguhyam. That is Rajaguhyam, most confidential. Rajavidya.
King of all the
knowledge.
knowledge.
Krishna is giving them. Krishna is giving the knowledge to Arjuna.
Okay, Krishna has given that knowledge. And after, yes. So what is the benefit of knowing that knowledge?
Because it is Hare Krishna Mataji. Because it is purely on the transcendental platform, how to achieve that.
Yes. So it's in the transcendental platform and
Mataji, essence of all philosophies.
yes, the essence of all the philosophies. Very good. So after knowing which, then what happens after knowing this Rajavidya, Rajaguhyam? Then what else we can do? What happen? What is the benefit of knowing this Rajavidya?
It's the highest perfection of life.
Yes. What is that? What is that? The highest perfection of life, Lord?
To serve the Lord at his abode.
Okay. So that means after knowing which, we need not come back again, right? So that's why it's called Rajavidya, the best among the knowledge, because after knowing this, no more coming back. Okay. Kyaktva deham punarjanma naidi mameti saujana. So no more coming back. Okay. So that's very important to know this. Okay. Then, so Rajavidya, Rajavidyam, Pavitram idam uttam. Why is it called Pavitram or pure? Why is, yes, does anyone know? Pavitram idam uttam. It's the most purest of knowledge. Why?
because these are the teachings of the Bhakti Yoga, Mataji.
Okay.
Especially
The teachings of Bhakti Yoga. Fine.
Guhyatara, Guhyatama, madam.
Yes. Guhyatama, Guhyam, Guhyatamam, Guhyataram. Okay, that was the 3 steps. But my question is, why is it the purest?
Because
Pavitram idam uttam.
it is coming from the uncontaminated.
Yes. Even the Lord is uncontaminated.
Lord is because Lord is uncontaminated, and therefore the
And it's
knowledge is
coming
also
from him.
uncontaminated.
Yes, so it's Pavitram. Okay. Yes, it's Pavitram. So in that way, it is Pavitram. Okay, it's pure. So nothing else can contaminate it, right? So it cannot be contaminated. Like Krishna's knowledge, Krishna's name, nothing can be contaminated because it's so that's why it's called Pavitram. Pratyakshavagamam, susugam karte, it can be easily performed. Why is it said that Bhakti Yoga can be easily performed?
Because you can do all the action for Krishna, whatever you're doing, your activities, and you can offer to Krishna. You don't have to leave anything for this.
Who else can do that?
Anybody can do it.
Anybody. That means even a child can participate, right? So that's why it's called Susukama. Prabhupada says even a child can participate in Bhakti Yoga. But can a child do Ashtanga Yoga or Dhyana Yoga and whatever other yoga system? No, it's difficult for a child. But for a child, can do Bhakti Yoga. How can children do Bhakti Yoga? What way?
By chanting, by participating.
Yeah, they can hear, they can chant, they can even dance in the kirtan.
They can eat prasadam.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. They can eat prasadam. They don't have to do anything, just eat prasadam. So all the kids, definitely, if you take the prasadam is tasty because it has the saliva of the Lord and it's done with love and devotion. So definitely just by taking prasadam, the child can take part in Bhakti Yoga. Even animals, animals can be given prasadam. So once Indradas Prabhu, who started the 24 hours kirtan in Vrindavan, so Indradas Prabhu had a cat and he was seeing one Mataji feeding the pigeons some rice, so prasadam. So he asked her, Mataji, why are you giving this prasadam rice to the pigeons? So she said, yes, because they will also get benefited. Next life, they can get a human form. They can become devotees just by taking prasadam. So he asked, can I give prasadam to my cat? She said, yes, definitely. The cat can either go back to God or can become devotee next life. So because of some bad karma, that soul is in that particular body. So then he started giving prasadam to the cat. So even in a devotee's house, my friend has 3 dogs in her house. That 3 dogs are getting, they are vegetarians and are getting prasadam every day. So definitely they're going to be devotees next life because they're having prasadam. So that's the benefit of being an animal even in a devotee's house. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, according to my karma, let I become anything in next life. But even if I become an insect, let me become an insect in a devotee's house. Why? Because that insect can hear Harina. The devotee will be chanting. The devotee will be hearing Bhagavad Gita, chanting Bhagavatam. And there'll be prasadam remnants, fallen on the ground. Some piece of rice or something would have fallen in the ground, and the insect or whatever that lizard, it can have it. So that's why it is said, Susugam, even animals can take part in Bhakti Yoga. Yes, Preeta Mataji.
So, Hare Krishna Mataji. So, we have a devotee, a very senior devotee. There are like some cats and squirrels and different insects. They have a little backyard and stuff like that. So, there are like so many cats, they come when he's chanting, and so many of those animals have died around him, when he's chanting. So, or when he's reading the Bhagavatam. So, it's so beautiful. Even the animals can sense that there is Harinam going on.
That is very that is so nice. Yes. So even the mosquitoes in your house, the lizards, whatever, like some small minute insects might be there. So they all get the benefit of the Harinam because of a devotee. Because of that devotee, the insect or even the plants in your garden. They said that the devotees, whichever plants are around that house. And that's why once His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj was chanting loudly. And Prabhupada was many complaint. Okay, like Jayapataka Swami is chanting so loudly that we can't concentrate Prabhupada. So Prabhupada called him and said, Jayapataka, if you want to chant loudly, go to a park and chant. Don't sit in the temple and disturb other devotees. So Guru Maharaj listened because it's the Guru's order. Okay, so then finally Guru Maharaj went to the next nearby park and started chanting loudly. And guess what? All the trees and plants and everything definitely would get benefit because there's a pure devotee chanting. And now the rest is the history that how Maharaj became a nice devotee. Yes, please come in your real name. I don't even know who's an iPhone. Who's that? You have to rename when you come.
It's Dr. Ponraj Prabhu. I think.
Sorry, madam. Sorry, madam.
Yes, Prabhu, you want to add something?
No, madam. No, Mataji. In between, it was not audible.
I had some. Okay. So that is one thing which I felt like it was so sweet of Guru Maharaj that Maharaj want to benefit everyone while chanting. And when he was having a stroke and he was in unconscious stage for a long time, and he immediately after regaining consciousness, he asked his secretary that he wants his guide, the thread to chant the Gayatri and the clicker to chant the Japa. So instead of asking all that, Guru Maharaj said the disciples, there is a nurse in the ICU, tell her how to chant Hare Krishna. So this is how a pure devotee is. A pure devotee doesn't want to get benefit by himself, he can spread this. So Bhakti Yoga can be done by anybody. Anybody can do Bhakti Yoga. Jendra, just by giving a flower Sudama just by giving chipped rice, Shabari by the bitten fruit, and Vidura's wife by giving banana peel. So all these are instances where we can see Krishna can be pleased in any ways, in simple ways. You don't have to do some big gymnastic things, nothing. Krishna is pleased by just love and devotion, the pure love and devotion which a devotee has. So, and it's Susukam Kartavayam, anybody can do that. So 12th sloka says, Mogashamoga karmano moga jnana vichetashaha rakshasim masurim chaiva pragritim mohinim svitaha. So those others bewildered, attracted by demonic and atheistic youth, in that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and the culture of knowledge are all defeated. Okay, so somebody who is a devotee will not try to do any offense, and here a non-devotee definitely they don't believe in Bhakti Yoga. Okay, and what happens to the great devotees? Mahatmanastuma Partha Devim Prakritima Shritam. So it is said that Radharani's name was not described in Bhagavad Gita, but here it is said this Devim Prakriti. Mahatmanastu Mapartha Devim Prakriti Mashritam Achanti Ananya Manaso Nyatva Bhutati Mabhyam. So this Mahatmas are great souls. Great souls in the sense those who have surrendered completely to Sri Personal Regard. Those Mahatmas are under Devim Prakriti Mashritam. They are under Krishna's divine protection or the Yoga Maya. Okay. This Devim Prakriti, the Yoga Maya, is also called the Hladini Shakti. There are different types of Yoga Maya. One is the Hladini Shakti, Samvas Shakti and all. This Hladini Shakti is nobody but Radharani. So it is said Radharani's name is still mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, but in a covered way. That is this Devi Prakriti. That is great souls take shelter of Radharani. So that's why we have Radha Govinda, Radha Madhav, Radha Shyamsundar. Always Radharani's name comes first because she's a devotee of Krishna. And Radharani can recommend you. If she recommends your name, Krishna cannot reject. So that's why we have these deities of Radharani like this in the hand. And we keep anything in the hand of Radharani, it directly reaches Krishna, and Krishna cannot reject it. So that's why we say Hare. Okay, Hare Krishna, the Hare is Radharani. So Mahatmanas Mapartha Devim Prakriti Vashradam. Those who are not deluded, the great souls are under the protection of divine nature. And they fully engaged. Bhajanti Ananya Manaso. They are always engaged in devotional service because they know Krishna is the Supreme Personality, Godhead, original and inexhaustible. He is original. The Govindam Adi Purusha. Okay, so original Purusha in the sense he is a supreme. There's nobody above Krishna or equal to Krishna. What is another name of Krishna? Because nobody is equal to Krishna, above Krishna. Krishna says, Matta Paradanam Nani Kinjita Stita Nanjaya, 7th chapter. So what is Krishna's another name? Asamurda. 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 There is no Sama or there is no equal to Krishna. Asamurda. So that is another name of Krishna. So here it is said the pure devotees are Krishna's, come under Krishna's divine protection. Why? The next sloka says, Satatam Kirtayan Domam Yadantascha Dridavritaha. Because they always chant Krishna's holy name, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down to Krishna, the great souls perpetually worship Krishna with great devotion. Okay, so Mahatmas, Prabhupada says, these are the examples from Srila Prabhupada life which reflects the qualities and behavior. Okay, so we'll see in 14th chapter and then we'll take this as a breakout room. Okay, I mean, you can discuss this. So in 9:13, it is said, Mahatmanas Mahatma, that just you have to give some example to show that Srila Prabhupada was a Mahatma. And Satatam Kirtayanda. Sometimes devotees ask, and some people ask, where is in Bhagavad Gita said that you have to chant Krishna's holy name or 16 rounds? Actually, it is not 16 rounds. Satatam. This sloka says, Satatam Kirtayandamam. Always we have to chant the glories of holy name. But in Kali Yuga, is it possible? 24 hours, can we do that? No, we are not Haridas Thakur. We can't do that. We are not Goswamis. We are conditioned souls. So, as an Acharya, Prabhupada, why is the 16? How did Prabhupada come to 16? Does anyone know?
Yes, Hare Krishna
But
Mataji.
we cannot do 64, Mataji. So he was very merciful when he did 16.
Yes, Mamta Malaji, want to add something?
Yes, Mataji, when Prabhupada came to Western country and he told devotees to count 64 rounds and devotees said we cannot do it because it takes too long time. Then Prabhupada said do 32 and then devotees said no, we cannot do it. Then as 16 6, and that's it. Not less than that. That's how it begins.
So the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said 64. Then Prabhupada said 32. Then the devotees were not happy and they could not do it. And finally Prabhupada said 16. Okay, finally 16. So minimum. And so that is Prabhupada's mercy. But always it is here, it is said that always chanting the glories of the Holy Name. Okay, so any pastime from Prabhupada's life to reflect the quality of behavior, saying that how Prabhupada was always chanting the Holy Name. And Yadandasya Dhritavritha, the determination. Anything, any pastime to show Prabhupada's determination and going down and great souls perpetually worshipping Krishna with devotion. So some examples from Prabhupada's life show that reflects the qualities that Prabhupada was a Mahatma and also how Prabhupada was with determination and was Satatam Kirtayantama. Okay. So this is what Devim Prakriti Mashratam Bhajanti Annamam. So Satatam Kirtayandoma. Yadandasya Dhridavrita, that is determination. Nitya Upasake. So Prabhupada says, as described in the second verse of the chapter, not only in this devotional service is easy, but it can be performed in a happy mood. So Sukam Kartama Vyam, joyfully it can be done. So one does not need to undergo any severe penances and austerity. I was listening to Prabhupada today, and Prabhupada says, this movement is so nice. You just have to come, chant, you're bored, you can do kirtan, you're bored, you can dance in the kirtan, you're bored, you can have prasadam. Nobody gets bored with prasadam. And still people doesn't come to this movement. So what so unfortunate Prabhupada was saying that this movement is so joyfully performed. And Prabhupada says a Mahatma can live his life in devotional service guided by an expert spiritual master should be there. And in any position, either as a householder, sannyasi, brahmachari, in any position, anywhere in the world, he can perform devotional service to the Supreme Personality God, thus become actually a Mahatma great soul. So all the houses have become temples now, right? So you have to take examples from Prabhupada's life showing these two qualities mentioned in 9.13 and 9.14. Okay, and then we'll come back. My quick breakout room, I'll just give 5 minutes and come back. Hare Krishna. Okay, so all are back. Mataji can post the attendance link. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
we'll take the discussion towards the end. Just finish this. So here it is said about the Mahatmas. Okay, we'll see about Prabhupada's life a little bit later. And also Prabhupada says about a Mahatma. He says, those who are directly worshipping the Supreme Lord, Shri Krishna, they have been called as the others, and there are others worshippers, they cannot conceive the Supreme Godhead directly on the account of being less advanced. Okay, so we'll see 15th to 19th about the different types of worshippers. So we'll see. Jnanayatnena chapinye yachanto mam upasate ekatvena pratatvena bahuda vishwadhomukam. So the others who engage in the sacrifice by cultivating knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. So some they worship Krishna in the Shyam Sundar form, but some they worship Krishna in the universal form. Okay, and they cannot, and that is basically knowledge, and they know that Krishna is one without the second. But then, so there are three types of people here. It is said one who worships himself as one with the Lord, and one who concords some form of the Supreme Lord and worships that, and the third one who accepts the universal form, Vishwarupa. But actually, more than Vishwarupa is the Shyam Sundar form of the Lord. We'll see in the 11th chapter when Krishna is showing the Vishwarupa, we'll see why Shyam Sundar form is the greatest. And also Krishna says, Aham Kratur, Aham Yajna, Swadaham, Aham Aushadam, Mantro, Aham, Evajnam, Aham Agnir, Aham Hutam. So then he says, but it is I who am the ritual, he's the sacrifice, he's the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant, and he's the butter and the fire of the offering. So out of the mantras, which mantra is Krishna? Om. Om. Yes, Pranava Sarva Vedeshu. Krishna is Om. What else?
Is a taste of water, heat in the fire.
No, the mantra. Okay, one mantra is Om. Yes, Krishna is Om. Which else mantra is Krishna? Krishna says, Yatyanam Japa Yatnyosmi. Which Japa?
Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna
Krishna Mahamantra.
Mahamantra.
Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not different from Krishna because Abhinnatvam Nama Namin. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddham Nityamuktam Abhinnatvam Nama Namina Abhinnatvam. So when you say Krishna, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra has Krishna, Rama and Hare. So it's not different from Krishna. The holy name Abhinnatvam Nama Namina. There's no difference between the person and the name. Okay, so Krishna is there in the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and also. So there are say that there are some people who others, they worship the absolute truth in different ways. Okay, there is three ways people worship. I think this is one of the Bhakti Shastri question. One is Egatvena, that's the monist. They worship self as one with the Lord. Who are they called as? The Egatvas. Who are they? Who worship self as one with the Lord.
Mayavadis.
Mayavadis. The Brahmavadis, the Mayavadis. So Mayavadis are called as what by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Mayavadis are?
Mayavadi Bhasha Shunile or Sarvanash.
Sarvanash, that's fine. Okay, but if you listen to Mayavadi Vasha, Mahaprabhu says there's Sarvanasha. Okay, but Mahaprabhu calls the Mayavadis as what?
Krishna Aparadhi.
Krishna Aparadhi. Said Vijay Prabhu. Shridhar Prabhu. Okay, so Mayavadi is Krishna Aparadhi. But who said that? Some Prabhu said.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Shridhar Prabhu. So why do you say Mayavadis are Krishna Aparadhi? Yeah, you're right.
Because they don't respect personal form of Lord Krishna.
Okay, they don't respect the form of the Krishna. So how are they doing aparad? Why are they Krishna aparadhi? They don't accept the form of Krishna. Yes. But Krishna has a form, no? See, you take, so just imagine you had your friend coming to your house and nice prasadam you made. In the sense, you took a lot of time and made nice prasadam, nice sweets and everything. And after the friend had prasadam, the friend is saying, oh, did you order it from the hotel? Or you got it from which restaurant? How do you feel? You took so much time and effort to make that prasadam and your friend is saying, is it from any restaurant? So you feel so bad. So similarly, Krishna has a beautiful form. Venum Kanvantam Aravinda Dalaya Daksham Varhavatamsham Shitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandarpakoti Kamaniya Vishesha Shobham Vindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. So he has a flute, he is a three-bended form, he has a peacock feather and beautiful eyes and the garments and so beautiful. Actually, Bhagavatam compares Krishna to Krishna's effulgence is compared to the sun. Krishna's face is compared to the beautiful moonbeam. And Krishna's the flowers that falls on Krishna is called as compared to a star. And Krishna's garments is compared to a rainbow. And the different flowers which Krishna has. So the garlands, each one is compared to the different aspect of the nature. So it's so beautiful Krishna is. And the Mayavadis is coming and saying that Krishna doesn't have form, he's Nirakar. How so much offense, no? Krishna has a beautiful form, but so they think that they are Lord. That is worshipping self as one with the Lord. They are Egatvena, monist. Second is Vishwato Mukam, that is they worship the universal form. But why are they not perfect? Why is the universal form not considered as the perfect worship? Worshipping the universal form. What is the defect?
Because the universal form is in the material plane.
Very good. It's
Not
in the
in-
material world. It's not in the spiritual realm. Okay, that is one thing. Second, what about the exchange of rasa in the universal form?
There's
and
nothing
Shyam Sundar?
personal in it, Mataji.
There's no personal, yes, because universal form is like wide and weird, so many hands and so many legs. And how can you have a Valsalya rasa or a Madhurya rasa with that particular form? And it's not a personal form as such than a Shyam Sundar form. So the rasa which you exchange with the universal form is different when compared to a Shyam Sundar form. And as Prabhu said, it's in the material realm. It's just a temporary form. It's not the eternal form. Some people think universal form is the eternal form of the Lord. No, it's just a temporary form Krishna showed. And there is something called the Prataktvena Bhakuta. That is, they worship the demigods. Okay, the demigod worshippers. So now Navaratri and all is coming. So everybody is worshipping goddess and different forms of the goddess. So it's actually she is Lakshmi or even Radharani's expansion. So we can pray in such a way instead of material prosperity. We can ask her to please give us a Krishna Bhakti because she is always with Krishna. Wherever Krishna is there, Lakshmi Devi follows. Or wherever Narayan is there. So whether Krishna is there, Radharani follows. So definitely when we pray to get Krishna Bhakti, she'll be very pleased instead of asking for material opulences. Because that she's Chanjala, she sits in a lotus. And if you don't worship her husband, Narayana, or then she won't stay there. She stays where the Lord is there. So by chanting the holy name, by doing devotional service to Krishna, the goddess will be definitely pleased. So there are three kinds of people who worships in the purport Prabhupada mentions in the 15th sloka purport, the three kind of worshippers. One is Egatvena, the monist, and one is Vishwato Mukha, they worship the universal form. The other one, they are the demigod worshippers. Actually, all these people are worshipping Krishna only. Indirectly, okay, indirectly. Because the Egatvena, the monist, they worship the Brahman aspect of the Lord. Vishwato Mukha, they worship the universal form of the Lord. And the demigod worshippers, they are worshipping part and parcel of Krishna. The demigods are agents of Krishna, part and parcel of Krishna. So Anya means others, Prabhupada says. So they have not been given so much importance, although they have been accepted. They're also accepted because they have been taken into the light. They are better than those who are just like animals, simply eating, sleeping, defending, and mating. So these four things are same with animals and men, right? Eating. We eat in a good way, but animals, even hogs, they eat anything and everything that's available. And they eat more than us. Sleeping, there are some animals who sleep for 6 hours more than us. But we sleep in a very nice, comfortable place. They are in the streets. Defending, they have better nails and better defense mechanism than us. Mating, yes, some animals, they can deliver so many kids or offsprings at the same time. So better than man. So, but what is that which distinguish man and human animals? The only thing.
Consciousness, Mataji.
Okay, consciousness. Some more.
Questioning
What Prabhu said, I was not
dharma. It is dharma.
Dharma. Dharma nehina pashubir samana. So the dharma, it is said, aharam nidra bayamaidanam cha samanya edat pashubir naranam dharmo hi desho adhiko vishesho dharma nehina pashubir samana. So aharam nidra bayamaidanam, that is eating, mating, sleeping, defending. Samanyam, the Pashubir Naranam. So Pashu here also means animals, not just Pashu, that is cow. It's animals. So it's same for animals and humans. But Dharmo Hitesha Dikovid. Dharma is the occupation, that duty, the Dharma, that is Savai Pumsa Paro Dharmo, Yito Bhakti Adhokshade, the Bhakti to Krishna. That is what distinguishes animals from us. But what about Gajendra? It was an animal, no? Elephant. He was doing Bhakti better than us. He went back to Godhead. One life, in that life. Yes, Sharanya Mataji.
Mataji, because Gajendra was the king in last birth.
Which king?
Still service.
Huh?
King Indradumna.
Indradumna.
So he was Indradumna Maharaj in last life, and because there's a story where Indradumna Maharaj was in deep meditation of the Lord, and one Rishi came, and Indradumna Maharaj didn't even realize the Rishi had come. And the Rishi cursed him that you're sitting like a dumb elephant, let you become an elephant next life. But later he came to know that Indradumna Maharaj was in meditation with Lord Hari, that curse also became a boon, because in that animal form he could be delivered. He became, he could go back to Godhead. And Krishna came in Garuda to take him back. So animals, yes, so they have this past history. They are not just normal animals. They've been cursed and becoming like that. But then that which distinguish us and the animals is dharma. So only human beings can do that. Okay. So demigod worshippers worship is also discussed in Bhagavad Gita and so many other places. And demigod worshippers are called as what in Bhagavad Gita?
Pass on this, Mataji.
Less intelligent.
Less intelligent. What is another word for that?
Alpamedasa.
They're not Muda. Alpamedasa. They're not Muda. See, Mudas are those who doesn't surrender to anybody. Amam Dushkidina Muda Prapatyandena Radama Maya Abhutatjana Masuram Babumasha. These are all demons. Those they don't surrender to anyone. Mudas are very not unintelligent people, but demigods are less intelligent people, or they are Alpamedasa. Why they are called less intelligent? Demigod worshippers.
Because they worship demigod, and I mean the result, which the benediction which demigods give them is directly provided by Lord Krishna himself.
Okay, that's
And
fine.
they are temporary, Mataji.
Because they are not watering in the root. They're just trying to water.
Yeah, they're not watering the root of the tree. So, and as
But
Mother
they are getting the rewards because Krishna sanctioned them to give it to them.
yes, definitely.
That-
Krishna is finally sanctioning it, but it's temporary, no? Once this body ends, those results end, because demigods cannot give you liberation. Mukti pradadam sarvesham Vishnu revana samshya. Mukti or liberation can be given only by Krishna. Why? Why demigods cannot give you liberation?
They themselves are
subordinates of Krishna, Mataji.
They are?
Subordinates of Krishna. Whatever Krishna is asking them to do, they are doing it.
Yeah,
That's
so
it,
Krishna
Mataji.
can
The
tell them
ultimate-
to give liberation. No, but no, they can't give liberation.
Mataji, they themselves cannot get, are not sure of getting liberation. How they can grant it to others?
They
Deliverance
themselves,
is the proprietary right of
no,
Krishna.
They themselves are not guaranteed of
Ah.
liberation. How they can give it to others?
they themselves are not liberated.
Brahma says that to Hiranyakashipu.
Ah,
I myself am not immortal. How I can give you that wish? So
yes, when
liberation.
Hiranyakashipu did tapasya and asked Brahma to give immortality, Brahma is like, I myself is not immortal. Brahma bhuvanar loka punar avartino arjuna. See, when you go to Brahma's world, there is punarjanma. Even the demigods are not liberated souls. Only a liberated soul can liberate somebody. Like you are tied up, your hands and legs are tied up and put into the water. Can somebody who's tied up can come and help you? How much ever they try to bite and remove? No, only somebody who's free can come from outside and liberate you. So Krishna is liberated in the sense he's in the spiritual world, but all the other demigods are in the material world. If you see the Goloka chart, you can see all the heavenly planets, Janalok, Maharlok, Swargalok, all these where Brahma is there, all this come under the material planet, which there is birth, death, old age, disease. So here, demigod worshippers are Alpamedasa. And what is the opposite of it? Krishna worshippers are called
Sumedasa.
Medasa. Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangasa Pashadam Yetne Sangeetara Praye Chindihi Sumedasa. So Sumedasa, they are the most intelligent. Okay, because we are watering the root of the tree, as Prabhu said, we are watering the root of the tree. So for them, we are asking for some eternal results from Krishna. Okay, not temporary results. Okay, so demigod worshippers are called as Alpamedasa, less intelligent because they ask for temporary results. In a third chapter also it is said that cooperation between men and demigods, then prosperity will regain. There is Karma Yoga. And men of small intelligence worship the demigods. That is Alpamedasa in 7th chapter it is said. And also in 9th chapter, worship in a wrong way. This is kind of indirectly worshipping. They are not watering the root of the tree. In Raja Vidya also it is said. So many ways demigod worshippers have been commented in Bhagavad Gita. And Prabhupada also says, worship demigods may be accepted if people know that these demigods are authorized agents of the Supreme Lord. And there is acceptance of Supreme Lord. But those fools who do not accept the Supreme God, they misunderstand that this particular type of demigod is all in all. Oh, they are doing nonsense. But it's Krishna who is actually giving us the faith we have in that demigod. Like so many of them who came to Krishna consciousness, they were all Lord Shiva's devotees before. They were, because Lord Shiva is Vaishnavana Meda Shambhu. When he's pleased by a worship, then they send to the master. When a supervisor is so pleased with the service or the job of a junior subordinate, if that person is good, he'll directly take that person to the boss for some increment. No? So similarly, all the demigod worshippers, slowly they come to Krishna consciousness. They know that Krishna is the supreme. Okay, so we are not completely denying them. We offer respects because they are also devotees of the Lord. So they are devotees, but we don't worship them as such because when you worship demigods, what is the result?
You go to that planet.
Yeah, you go to that planet. And if you go to that planet, there's coming back. Yandi deva yada deva pitriyanda pitrivrita Udhariyadi Bhuteja Yadi Matya Jinopima. Yanti Deva Yada Deva. You go to you worship that demigod, you go to their planets. You take a ticket to Delhi, you go to Delhi, you don't go to Kolkata. Similarly, you chant that demigod's name, you go to that demigod's planet. You can't go to Krishna's world with that. It doesn't happen like that. So it's very important to know where we are going and how after going to Krishna, there's no coming back. So Prabhupada says they are placing so many competitors of the Supreme Lord. This is Aviti Purvakam. So worshipping the demigods are called as Aviti Purvakam. And that's illegal. Nobody can be competitor of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is known as Asam Urdhva. So this is the word you learned today. Asam Urdhva means nobody is greater than the Lord and nobody is equal to Lord. Okay, nobody can be greater than Krishna. But somebody can be greater than Krishna. Who's that? Krishna allows somebody to become greater than him.
Devotees.
Pure devotee.
Use the word pure devotees. Like Yashoda Maya can be greater than Krishna. She can run with a stick behind Krishna. So she's greater. There was a picture of Yashoda Maya running with a stick behind Krishna, Damodar Leela. And one person saw that and asked Prabhupada, who's God? Looks like that small boy who's with fear running. It doesn't look like God, but he's being subordinate to his pure devotee like Yashoda Maya. Or when Krishna carried the slippers of Nanda Maharaj on his head, he's becoming subordinate to them. Or how he's playing with the gopas and being with the gopis, definitely he's becoming subordinate. So Krishna can make his devotees, pure devotees, greater than him. But in general, nobody is greater or equal to Krishna. Okay, it's called Asama Urdhva. So demigod worshippers have been explained in the next few slokas. And so what happens to the demigod worshippers here? Te tambukta sargalogam vishalam shine punyamartyalogam vishanti evam trayi dharmam anuprapanna data katam kama kaman labante. So what will happen? Those who are demigod worshippers, they have some pious results, okay? And when they enjoy in heavenly sense pleasures in that, then when the pious activities are exhausted, shine punya martyalogam vishanti. Once the pious results are exhausted, they return to this planet. Okay, so exhausted, they return to the mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So it's like a Ferris wheel. Anybody knows the analogy of a Ferris wheel? Is it? Prabhupada gives in the pulpit.
It's like a vicious cycle, Mataji. It goes around and around and around in circles.
Okay.
It after the ride, you have to get down from that. So
Okay. So that means once you are in the Ferris wheel, you go up and after some time you come down. Again you go up, again you come down. You can't stay in the upper planet. So similarly, you can't stay in a heavenly planet for a longer time. You have to come down. So here it is said, they promoted to higher planets and they again come down as if situated in a Ferris wheel. We sometimes go up, sometimes come down. Okay, like that. So it's like coming out and revolving in a cycle of birth and death. So there's an example given. Once there was a king, okay, and yes, Siddharth Prabhu, you want to add something?
No, after the ticket price, we have to come down. So that ticket price
Yes.
is equivalent to the pious activities.
Yes. So after that, you have to come down. So there was a king who actually punishes the robbers in a weird way. So when any thief is caught, he actually brings a big bucket of water and pushes the robbers, the thief's head inside the water. Just hold him tightly there. Then what happens? There is suffocation. He can't breathe. Then for a second, the king takes the thief out of the water. Then there's a gasping, no? He takes the air inside. And then again, he's pushed back to the water. Again, he is suffocating because he's not getting oxygen. And again, after a few seconds, the king takes him out. This is a weird punishment he was giving. So everybody's like, why the king is punishing like that? Okay. So that's because air is very important. Without breathing, that person cannot survive. And he's in the verge of death. He's almost meeting death. And that's a severe punishment. And then after doing that, the king questions the person and the king says that next time, if you're lying to me, next time I will not take you out of the water. I'll make you die there. So whoever is the thief or the robber, he admits that he have done the theft. So this is like going to heavenly planets. Why? You did a lot of punya, you worship the demigods, and you go to Swarga. And in Swarga, you have somaras, you are dancing with apsaras, there is Gandharva, so much of enjoyment. Then your visa is over, the ticket is expired. Now what to do? You have to come down to this material world. So for some time, the thief is taken out of the water. He is gasping for air. He's getting the air. That is like going to heaven, enjoying for some time. Again, we come to this material world, go back to water and suffer. So this material world is Dukhale Mashashvaram, again coming down, again going up, again coming down. We need to get out of that water, or we need to get out of this material world. We need to go to the spiritual world, not being in the heavenly planet. So that's why it's like a Trine Punya Martala Commission, they again coming back. So the Ferris wheel is an example for that. 22nd sloka is very, very important sloka. It says, Ananya Shindayan Doma Mejano Pariyupaside Tisham Niktabi Iktanam Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. So Yoga Kshemam Vahamiham. Krishna maintains, those who worship Krishna. Ananya Shindayan, always thinking about somebody who's always thinking about Krishna. What will Krishna do? Then Krishna carry what they lack to preserve what they have. Okay. So the Sudama story is a nice example to show that Yoga Kshema Mahamiham. And also we know some of the you know that life insurance and all, some of the companies, they have this title, no, Yoga Kshema Mahamiham. So they are the one who's taking care. No, it's Krishna who's actually taking care of us. So Yoga Kshema Mahamiham, it said. Okay. So any story to say, pastime to say that Yoga Kshema Mahamiham, anyone remembers? Yoga Kshema.
Story about Yamunacharya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, you can tell that story, Yamunacharya.
When he is reading this particular verse and seeing that Yoga Kshemam, he is not sure about that word, Mataji. He strikes out that word and he goes back and to, like, they do that Madhukari, Mataji. So that day he will not find any food. But Krishna, he disguises himself as a small boy and he brings so many food and like whatever grains and all, he will deliver at the doorstep of his house. And Yamunacharya's wife asks him, who sends this one? And he says that something, Mataji, I don't remember, but he he has that mark on his tongue, like, wherever that on the tongue, like some mark is there, like hurt, something like that, Mataji.
Yeah, you're right, almost right.
Yes.
Does anyone else know?
Yes, Mataji, I know the story. Actually, the Brahman is begging for food and he read this sloka, and his wife said that every time you are saying that ki Krishna will take care of us, but we are still in hungry. And he crossed from Bhagavad Gita, crossed this sloka. With a pen, he crossed this sloka and he went for begging. So, two small boys came with loads of grain and knocked the door, and the Brahman wife, she said that, who are you? No, Guruji has sent, your husband, he has sent us with grains. Are so you are so tiny boys, and how he can give so much load on you? And he took all the grains, and when he said that you come and eat, no, our tongues were already, it is chill gaya hai, so we cannot eat now. So it is said that when the Brahmin came back, he has crossed it on Bhagavad Gita, this particular sloka. So that's why it is Krishna and Balaram, two boys in form of two boys, black and white, and they gave this.
Yes, Mataji, very nice. So that's how we cut the line, and later we can see that Krishna himself comes and supplies. So Krishna takes care, but we need to have that faith in Krishna. And Krishna is saying, Shema. Okay. So you take the breakout room question. We start with 9.22. So this is a sloka which I later on said. We'll come back to that. Okay, what is some examples from Srila Prabhupada's life to prove that he's a Mahatma? He was Vridavrita, Satatam Kirtayandama. I think 9.13 and 14, right? Okay, who's speaking first? Prabhupada is a Mahatma. Okay, anybody from room number 1? Aditi Prabhu, Mataji, Arya Prabhu, Sandhya Madhya, Mother Preeta, Mother Raghunath Prabhu. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mamta Mother.
Sadhu Pranam. Yes, Mataji. Prabhupada is a great soul. He's a Mahatma because he has those qualities and he has a divine nature. So he was like in Bhagavad Gita, they say that Mahatma is under protection of divine nature and not influenced by material. So yes, Prabhupada dedicated all his life, right? Spreading the Krishna name and worldwide. And he was guided by the principles. He was guided by his spiritual master, and he had a full faith in him. And he took his instruction dearly, and he has a faith in Krishna. When he was coming to North America, he had 2 heart attacks. And people like us, like if we get sick, we take rest. Prabhupada did not take rest. He didn't go back. And he still went on, and he said that, Krishna, I'm the puppet in your hand, do whatever you want to do with me. So he was in a divine nature, and he was completely, and his devotion was like, he had a full faith in Krishna. So he was always, he did not like go things otherwise, anything. When he came to USA, and it was very hard for him. He still, he said, okay, he didn't know how to survive or how to live. And he had to live with with the person, the Agarwal family who were eating meat. And he said he didn't like it, but he said that's Krishna's plan. So he 100% believed in Krishna. And his devotional service, like he was unwavering devotional service, and he was constantly chanting, writing, teaching, and he was just continuous, always glorifying Krishna, and he never stopped. And he has a full knowledge. He is a Krishna's personality of Godhead, and one more thing we noted, I noted. And he always and the Mahatmas always think about the society. So he has pain. He always felt bad. Like we people are conditioned soul. We don't know what's our main purpose is. So he tried to teach them, guide them, and whatever way he could do it. And he always worked towards that things. So, and that's why he did service to humanity. He opened temple. He made so many communities. So these are the quality of a Mahatmas. They always think of the other people, not themselves, because he was 70 years old. The 70 and he was living in Vrindavan. But and he took that tough journey, came to Canada, came to USA, and did all those things. So that's why he's a Mahatma.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Who else want to add? Okay, from any other room?
Room 3, can I speak, Mataji?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, pranams. We specified episodes from Prabhupada's life to show he's a Mahatma. So what Mataji just said, I will not repeat it and waste time. How he suffered 3 heart attacks, he had seasickness, he went with 45 rupees, stayed with a meat-eating Karmi house, his typewriter and manuscripts were stolen, and yet he said, Krishna will provide. His perseverance is seen here, and as a Mahatma, we can clearly see he's situated in divine nature. And then the next one was compassion towards all. The episode we found was from the Mayapur terrace where he was chanting. He saw kids and dogs fighting over stale rotis. And he started that prasadam will be distributed or will be available to all people of any kind for about 20 miles around every ISKCON temple. And I think it's still being followed. And nobody else has ever matched it or even tried it. And the third thing about a Mahatma was he meditated only upon Krishna in Krishna consciousness. There was an episode where he had gone for a meeting and an Indian asked him, why have you come to the West? And Prabhupada said, what you answer that? Why have you come to the West? So the Indian said, I've come for better economic opportunities. So Prabhupada immediately said, you have come to take from this land. And I have come to give to this land and something permanent in the terms of spirituality. And the next one about a Mahatma is he never compromised on rules and regulations and was always engaged in glorification of Krishna. He was associated with the Beatles for some time. He decided to make use of as much as possible of their popularity as well to advance Krishna consciousness. So when one of his devotees or disciples said that there was a rock concert of about 10,000 or 20,000 people somewhere, he said, we will go. And many people said, Prabhupada, these are all very contaminated people. They are drug addicts. They are hippies. They're meat-eating atheists. But he said, if it is to propagate Krishna consciousness, we will still go. And he was not affected, or his disciples were not affected by it, because he made no compromise. The similar thing happened when they went for book distribution as well. And the next part of the Mahatma is that nothing diverted his attention to anything outside of Krishna consciousness. He traveled around the world spreading Krishna consciousness. He slept for 2 hours a day to complete Srimad Bhagavatam and rewrite the lost manuscript of Bhagavad Gita. And the final thing was Mahatma's quality is he's always engaged in all activities in the unswerving service of the Lord. And the Juhu land that came to ISKCON temple took years and years of determined effort on Prabhupada's part and his disciples. There were legal cases going on. The people who made promises to him and took an advance payment went back on their word and put cases against him. His American disciples were physically assaulted and told to and were threatened and were told to leave. He was abused by, all these people were abused by neighbors, and the government, they went to the extent of getting the government to ban the Sankirtan because they said it was noise that disturbed a very posh area. The disciples were arrested and put in jails. And Mr. Nair was very mean, and he wanted more economic prosperity and went back on his word. But Mr. Nair's heart stopped, and eventually, finally, the land came to ISKCON Juhu. And this was complete surrender. Prabhupada was never agitated over this at all, because he said, Krishna will arrange, and it was more like that, Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. And after all this, when the land came to them, and when the disciples were very, very happy about it, they went and told Prabhupada, Prabhupada, the land is finally ours. We can have a Juhu ISKCON that is a model temple for every ISKCON in the world. And all Prabhupada said was, It was a good fight, and Krishna was on our side. So this goes to show he was a Mahatma, a great, great soul. Hare Krishna Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Ekta Mataji wanted to add something.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I guess Mataji has covered almost all the points. So not really like we had these points only, like Mataji, like how Prabhupada was like, of course we can't really cover his qualities, but how he was a Mahatma and how he was following the instructions of his guru throughout his life, in the distribution of books, so wanted to kind of pinpoint on bhajanti, the verse that we just read, so bhajanti ananya manasa, so that's what we want to point out, like how he was rendering service to his guru and Krishna without the deviation of mind. Of course, Mataji has covered a lot of points on Mahatma, so I'll not go into that, Mataji. And how he was not under he was not connected to material things, Mataji. He was getting, of course, there were a lot of devotees and there was a lot of donation coming in, and there were a lot of things also which were gifted to Prabhupada. He used to just kind of, let's say a watch or something, he would wear it and he would give it to his disciples. So just kind of things I'm trying to highlight, which are not talked about, but mostly I guess we've kind of covered almost all the points are covered by Mataji. So I guess thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. May I add one point, Mataji?
Yes, yes.
Mataji, there was one mental asylum. There so many deaths happened, and it was converted as a temple. And a lot of devotees were complaining about the ghost and all to the Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, "Don't worry, keep on, please chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. The ghost also will be elevated." And this has really happened. After some time, there were no ghost of anything in the premises, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes. Anyone likes to add anything else? Some more points.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Pushti Mataji.
Mataji, it was just that, Prabhupada gets so many gifts and things like that, but then he would never keep anything for himself. So it's in some pictures you see him wearing a rings or a watch, but then after he will give it away. So he was never attracted by any material desire.
Yes, Mataji. Okay, that was a nice point. Okay, so there's so many pastime to prove that he is a Mahatma, determined, and Satatam Kirtayandavam, right? How he was chanting like 5 hours in front of Sumati Moraji's office for a green card to go to America. Okay. So I think we can stop here. It's 9:30. I mean, so we have stopped in 9.22 today. Okay. Hare Krishna. If you read Nilamrita, you'll know more about Prabhupada's determination.
It's a wonderful book, Mataji. We have
Yes.
to read it over and over and over again. It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Many devotees have said they've cried reading that book.
It's true,
Okay.
Mataji.
Yeah, that's true, Mataji. I cried several occasions. There were so many particular parts. I was so big, and my kids, Mom, what happened? And I couldn't explain to them,
Yes. Srila Prabhupada was so great. We are so fortunate to come under his shelter. Hare Krishna, everyone. I think we can stop here. Okay.